Okay, I finally got the replacement board for my garage. It's an MSI Big Bang Fusion, and I got this on eBay for $40. It's the same motherboard that I have running in my own computer, and one of the reasons I bid on this, not only because it was affordable, but also because I'm so familiar with it. I also like all the features that this motherboard has. It has the startup button here, so I won't have to mess with any of the startup cables. It has a reset switch. It has the overclocking button, and it has a USB. It doesn't have USB 3.0 or SATA 6, but I'm going to use this just to test some components and not do anything else with it. I also like that it has an old ID interface here, so in case I need to test any old components, I have this option here. It also comes with, as you guys can see, it has high seat caps. It doesn't have the regular solid state caps, but high seat caps. And it's a pretty good motherboard. I'm surprised that I got this for $40, seeing that when I first bought my Fusion, it was around $300 something, and it's amazing how the prices fall in these things. Well, one of the reasons why it was so affordable was because it had a little damage on it, and it wasn't anything big. It's PCI Express slot here. It's missing the end tip. I guess it broke off when someone was trying to take the video card off. Also has little bent parts here at the motherboard, either end of the motherboard, but it isn't interfering with any critical components, so it's working fine. I have a Intel iCore 3 processor on this. It's an 1156 and Hyper 212, keeping it cool. I really wanted to get something that was going to stick out, but I didn't want to go with stock cooler, so I went with the 212 instead, and it looks pretty good. Also, I did this here. I put an SSD card. This was running on my own computer, and I decided to go with Vertex 2s in RAID 0. So I had this spare. I'm going to use this one in the garage. What I did here was, and I didn't know you could do this, but I put 2 hard drives with the SSD card in RAID 0. It's stable enough, so I mean, as long as it's stable and it's running, I don't have a problem with it. Also have the RAID Max 600 watt power supply, and also, as you guys can see, I did some management holes on the backboard. The only reason I did this is so the cables won't get in the way when I'm moving things around the desk here or the work table. And did some holes over here. Routed the SATA cables in the back of the pegboard. Let me see what else. Also had this little thing here, the OC dashboard, so I could play around with it and overclock it if I need to. But again, this is just to test components. I'm not gonna be overclocking anything or doing any gaming on this thing. I also have a backup hard drive here. It's about 500 gigabytes, and yeah, there it is. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Let me show you. It's my work area right here. I didn't want, when I'm building new computers or I'm fixing one, I don't want anything in the way, so I didn't have the option to put a case around here on the bottom part of the table. I just don't have the room. and so I decided to do this instead. It works, so as long as it works. Running Windows 7. Let me show you some of the things here. I ran Prime 95 on stock settings, and it was stable enough. I was kind of concerned with the SSD and hard drives in RAID 0, so I haven't had any problems. And those are the numbers. The memory was originally going to be for the Gigabyte, but because the Gigabyte board got stolen, decided to use the memory sticks on this board instead. I was gonna spend the extra money on new or better memory for this motherboard. So with 4 gigabytes of memory, that should be enough for testing components or doing any benchmarking or anything that I need to do. And let me see here. Right now the temperature in my garage is about 90 degrees. It's about 6 o'clock right now. And let me show you here the temperatures. This is what I love about the 212. Look at those temperatures on idle. It's pretty good. But it's an open board, so there's not a lot of heat being trapped, so one of the reasons why temperature on the system is decent. And CD-ROM player or optic drive still holding. I thought this was going to come apart. That double stick tape is amazing. Look at that. It's hard as a rock. I mean, it doesn't do any. I mean, it's not moving. It doesn't flinch or anything. I guess I would have to, if I needed to move things around, probably use a heat gun to take this off. I mean, I don't know how you, but it's going to be here for a while. The same thing with my this hard drive here. Also stuck with double stick tape, and the power supply and the SSD and everything else in there. So there you go, guys. Alright, please post any comments, and if I have any future videos or builds, I'll go ahead and post them. And please subscribe if you like these videos. Thank you.